Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey guys, brand new podcast.
Hey, wait a minute. It's my podcast.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Enjoy. I feel like I was just this morning. Okay. My girls have been in tennis for 2 years now, I guess. They have tennis and piano. That's our two things that are like regular. And I can't seem to fit it all in now. I'm really frustrated with trying to get, because I'm like, if we do tennis 2 days a week, piano, we have a tutor, we're going to play. It's like basically that's every single day. There's something to do. It's just so overwhelming. Do you guys feel like that?
Yeah, this has been a hard, I've been seem to only be in the car so much right now. And I've got to figure out how to have a little more time at home to take care of the home stuff.
Right?
The bills, the whatever is broken,
grocery store.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
because you're driving, your daughter is like half an hour?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Right.
But you're going morning and afternoon.
Well, sometimes not in the morning. Mark will take her.
Oh, okay.
But now I've got this whole doggy daycare thing that I've got to do way out in Burbank by the Burbank airport every day.
Oh.
Twice a day. Go to the Burbank airport.
What is that?
What are you doing?
A friend of mine, dog needed some extra playtime with other dogs.
Yeah.
So I said, let's try this doggy daycare because I'm pretty invested in their dogs. And it's working. And it's working great.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but they can't take her. So I'm now taking a dog, which I don't mind because it brings me so much joy to see this dog running and playing with, 30 other dogs.
Right.
But it's just way less time
At home.
yeah.
This falls right under my statement this morning of why do we do the things we do?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Why did you say that?
Because I was trying to copy over my physical calendar at home, and it looks like a spiral graph because I started using different color pens for different things.
Right.
And it's gotten to the point where it's so confusing. For some ungodly reason, I signed up to be the team parent for Drake's soccer team
Oh, God.
the other day. I know. In addition to the school academy stuff.
Right. And what are you doing at school?
I'm just helping out with annual giving for our academy, but
Okay.
since there's been some stuff going on at school, we've kind of lost our president to the school
Right.
and our treasurer. So
Right.
it's just been kind of complicated. There's a lot going on.
Right.
But the soccer team parent thing is probably a little more than I should have bitten off.
Right.
I've already gotten several calls from the coach and
Oh,
emails, and it's a little rough.
Oh, God. And is this whose team is this? Drake?
Drake's.
Okay.
Drake's team. So it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll work out once I figure out how I'm going to get each child home and dropped off.
I know that's the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Right.
Why is it so hard? I don't think it was this hard when we were kids.
No, because we didn't do any of this stuff.
Right.
Well, if I did any of the stuff, it was at school.
Or you could walk.
Yeah.
Or you could, well.
Yeah, it was after school.
It was after school. You just stayed at school and did it at school. But now school for Margaret is 20 minutes away. School for you is what, 10, 15?
Yeah.
School for me is a good 25 minutes away. There's no walking home from those places. Right?
No way. There's no walking home.
No walking home.
It's just crazy. Plus, it's LA. You can't let your kid walk to the park to play soccer.
No, yeah. Just hang out.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And even if it's, 10 miles away in traffic here, it's going to take you
30 minutes.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So true.
We need to start a business.
What kind of business?
I don't know. Something that's some sort of, maybe like hop, skip, drive, but
But that already exists.
I know, but
Carpool.
not hop, skip, drive. I know.
We need to start an app. How about this? An app so it's easy to find people to carpool with. Because I know for me, I know there are kids here in my neighborhood besides the one kid that I've been co-parenting with her parents back and forth to Georgia's school. There's like 10 or 12 people here. But how do you, I wish there was like a central place where you could go, I need a carpool to this place. who can help me? Because I know Sandy has this problem with softball for her youngest daughter. Her youngest daughter is a hardcore into softball. And
She's playing at ESO?
yeah, she's playing at ESO, which is in Encino, which is, traffic. I mean, it's just the worst highway to be on. And it's not that far, but it's a 30 minutes every time. And she's going, I think at one point in the spring, she was going there 5 or 6 days a week. And there's no one in this neighborhood that she knew of that she could carpool with. And it's awkward to sit there with a stand full of parents you don't know going, hey, where do you live? Could you help me out? Hey, where do you live? Could you help me out? That's kind of awkward.
Do you guys, I have a problem with carpool.
You do?
I have a problem with, and you guys know me, I'm not that super paranoid about stuff, but I am super paranoid. That's why I drive a massive car, about my kids being in a small car with somebody else, or even me, because of all the accidents I see and all the distracted drivers, and people are losing their children and their mothers or fathers due to stupid people on the road.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if this mom or dad who's driving my child texts while they're driving.
Right.
Are they distracted? Were they drinking last night? Are they a little hungover? How'd they sleep last night?
Right.
Are they in a tiny car? So I can't let my kids be in a carpool. I'm not comfortable with it. So that's why I do a lot of driving.
Well, that's a really good point. I haven't really thought about it like that, but I don't know. I'm not in a carpool, so I had to think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I mean, that's why we drive a huge car.
Right.
I mean, I didn't want this big car, and we have an Expedition, and at the time Bert wanted to get a Navigator, and I was like, that's the most ridiculous, what a waste of money, such a gas guzzler, I don't want to drive this huge car. We're in LA, we were living in Hollywood at the time, which is most of the time the streets really accommodate one car, and two cars can't go down the same street at the same time because of all the traffic. I was like, I don't want this big hassle of a truck. But he won, and we bought the Navigator. And we were going through a red light, and a Prius hit us going 45 miles an hour, and I didn't even know what had happened. Mm-hmm. The car just stopped. It just turned off, and I went, what's going on? My car just died? My car just died. And then I looked out my driver's window, and she had T-boned me right between the front tire and the driver's door. And I went, oh my God, I just got hit by a car. I had no idea this car had hit me. She was hospitalized.
You didn't even feel it?
I didn't feel the impact enough to register that it was an impact. I was like, what happened? My car just turned off.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it was so crazy. She hit me so hard that the driver's side front tire was laying flat on the ground, like it had broken the axle in half.
Oh my
She hit me
gosh.
that hard. And I had no idea she had hit me. And Isla was in the car seat, in the back seat. And she didn't even know it either. She just knew the TV turned off. She was like, hey, TV's off, Mom. Hey. So then I was like, okay, as long as I have small children, we're going to have a big car. Now I understand. Now I get it.
Right.
But now they're adult size. So I feel like, okay, we don't have to have such a tank. I mean, if I'm willing to ride in the car, then they're just about the same size not that I want anybody to get hurt, but I feel a little more relaxed about it than I did when they were younger.
Right. And there's certain small cars that are really,
Yeah.
like Volvos or the
Mercedes,
Audis.
yeah.
Yeah, they're super safe, but
Yeah.
they're smaller.
Yeah.
But I use my big car. I mean, I know it's a gas guzzler, but my whole other life, I'm really green. So if this is my only vice is driving a gas guzzler truck, so be it. I have to do it for my own
Peace of mind.
peace of mind.
Yeah. Well, I've never
And I
really thought
use
of
it.
that.
Like I have dogs, giant dogs in my car all the time, and kids.
Yeah.
Giant kids in my car. So it's not like I'm just driving this truck and no one's in it.
Right. No. Oh, you don't have to tell me. You know how many Girl Scout things I've taken my big truck to?
Right.
Camping trips. We use that truck for a lot more than just driving.
Right.
Right. We need a new one right now. We need a new car. Ours is old. And I keep going back and forth. I keep thinking, okay, I'm going to get a step down because it's a gas guzzler. We really don't need that ginormous car. But every time I think about it, I think, God, my kids are not getting any smaller and neither are their friends. So I think we're just signing up to get the same exact car,
Yep.
just a newer model.
Right.
Well, I think we're going to do the same thing.
Right.
We're getting the same car, but I want Margaret's car. She has a Suburban.
I know Margaret's is bigger than
I
mine.
love my Suburban.
I want it so bad. And Bert's like, I don't want a Suburban. I want an Escalade. And I'm like, I don't want an Escalade. I want a Suburban. So I was like, you can do so much more with a Suburban.
They're the same basic car, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically.
It is, but
one has
the
more
Suburban's a
luxurious.
little longer, right?
Well, you can get like I think an XL or
XL.
something.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
get the longer one.
Yeah. My nephew, my cousin's son died in a car. He was in the back seat in a car, and the car stopped on the freeway, and they were rear-ended by two other teenage friends just graduating from high school, and a drunk driver rear-ended them, and he was killed. You know, so I just replay this stuff in my mind all the time because they were in a small car.
Yeah.
And the car just died on the freeway and somebody hit them. So if they were in a bigger car, would he still be alive? You know? Who knows? You know?
Interesting question.
Right.
We were at the Baked Potato. You know that club,
Yes.
the Baked Potato?
We almost
Yeah.
went there the other night.
We were there a long
We've been
time
there
ago,
years.
before we had kids. And I guess one of the owners is the bass player from the Police. I can't remember his name. I guess he's one of the co-owners of this club. And I guess he was going home from the Baked Potato one night in his Mercedes. And back when this happened, it's been probably 25 years or so, I guess gangs would initiate members by having them park a black car on the 101 where there's no overhead lights.
Oh my God.
And turn all the lights out in the fast lane. And so you don't see the car until it's too late. And he hit that car like head on. The car was dead stopped. He hit a car like that and walked out of the accident because he was in a Mercedes. That's what the people at the hospital said, that Mercedes saved your life, because the way a Mercedes is constructed, they are built to sustain a great impact. So he was like, I will always drive a Mercedes, always. Is
right.
what and now, of course, this is the second. I didn't hear this from the Police bass player directly. It was from an employee at the Baked Potato. And we were like, whoa.
Third-hand information about
Third
Mercedes.
hand. Maybe fifth hand. Maybe eighth hand. But still, I was like, wow, that's cool. I asked my dad about it because, my dad's a mechanic. And he said, that's right. That's right. There are some cars that just are literally tanks.
Right.
It
The
just-
Volvo too. Which
Volvo's a tank too.
Right.
Yeah.
we were shopping for the Suburban, and the guy was trying to sell us possibly a Volvo, and he's like, no one's ever died in a Volvo accident. And I'm like,
That's
really?
not
Ever? And I'm like,
possible.
how could that
That's
be
not
true?
possible.
The whole like
True.
salesman thing.
Yeah, right?
But I was like, wow, really? And then I started thinking about it. That can't be true.
No.
Can't be true. That's a total salesman thing.
Somebody surely drove one off a bridge into some water and drowned. Come
Something.
on.
Right.
May not have been impact related. That can't be an
Right,
accurate
right.
statistic.
No. With all that being said, though, when I drive, when I don't have the kids with me, I take the small car.
Do you?
I do. I don't know why.
I don't. I'm not feel so. And you know what else I don't do? I look behind me. If there's a car bigger behind me, I change lanes. I never drive with someone bigger behind me.
Really?
That's how weird I am.
In
Mental
case
note,
they-
I'm riding with
I
Margaret
know,
from
right?
now on.
Super safety mom. I hadn't thought about that either. But now that you mention it, yeah. Because if you got rear-ended from a bigger car, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah. There was just a YouTube star in San Diego, young kid, got a sports car. This just happened this week. Drove on the wrong way of the freeway and hit a Kia car and killed the mom and a 14-year-old daughter.
In the Kia.
And I thought, oh my God.
Yeah.
That stuff really stays with me.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about, we kept our Mercedes for years. And because my dad was like, this car is such a good car. You should give this to Georgia as her first car. Because it's not a big truck. It's a car. So it's not overwhelming to drive. And nothing can hurt her in it. So we kept it forever. And then finally, we were both like, we're done. We sent it to my dad in Georgia. A tree fell on it was parked in the street, and a sycamore tree fell on it. So it had some like body damage. They were going to charge us $4,000 to fix it. And my dad was like, oh, $1,200. I could fix that thing. So we spent $600 and shipped it to him so he could fix it for $1,200. And I keep thinking, we could always ship it back, because it is a really good car. There's nothing wrong with the car, and it doesn't have very many miles on it, and it's a tank.
You
Drive
guys
it back.
you should go there
trip.
for your summer and then road
Drive it
trip
back.
back
That's a
when
good
George
idea.
is 16.
That's a really good idea.
That would be really fun. You guys can do like a
You can take
full
the dogs.
Yeah. Look at you with the dogs. Always the dogs, Margaret. Always the dogs. Well, I'll leave my dogs with you. While we go.
so they can go to doggy daycare.
Yeah.
You know, Priscilla is a squirrely traveler. She's okay in the car. We took her to Phoenix once, and she never settled down. We were there for like a 4-day weekend, like Thursday to Monday, and she was nervous the entire time we were there. Just a nervous wreck. And we're all there, like so nervous that I never left her.
Right.
I just never left. They went and did fun stuff, and I stayed at home with the dog because she was such a mess.
Was she nervous in the car
No,
as well?
she was fine
just,
in the car.
Just in the house?
In the new house, she just paced and panted the whole time we were there, and I felt like that was torture. So I don't know that she's a traveling dog.
Right.
I don't
She has to be
think
home.
she is. She's a home dog. Mona could care less.
Right.
Mona's like, you going? I'm going. Where are
Yeah.
we going?
Let's go.
Because Mona has been to the lake house with us. She had a blast. But, you know, we keep saying we'll take Priscilla there, but if she did that in Phoenix, it's pretty likely she'd do that at the lake.
Well, how the hell are you going to get her there?
To drive. We were
Yeah.
gonna like rent an RV and drive there, and just drive the dogs and stay. Because we've always said, you know, my dad has this house on a lake. I've been going to this property. He hasn't had the house this whole time, but I've been going to this property since I was about 10. Every summer, every weekend, all summer with all my cousins. So it's really part of my life. And so since I've had kids, I've kept saying we should go spend a month there like you do. Like when you go to Healdsburg and stay, I want to go there and stay. And both my kids are like, nope, too long. That's too long. I don't want to be going home, away from home that long until this summer. And this summer, George was like, I could do a month here. And I went, okay.
Awesome.
All
She
right.
really said that?
Yeah, she did.
I wonder how long that'll last. Like, I wonder if she'll make, like, this summer, if she'll be like, okay, I want to stay.
I wonder
Or-
too.
Or if it's going to be like, no, I want to stay with my new friends.
I wonder too. I wondered that too. Exactly that reason, because high school.
High school.
But this year, when you're 14, you can operate a wave runner or a personal water device without an adult. And that lake is empty in the week. It's a recreational lake. So literally you may see 2 boats during the weekdays. So in the weekdays, we just let her go. You know, she has to be where we can see her. It's a big lake, but it's like a long, skinny lake. So there's like, you can go from this mile marker to this cove if you stay in that section where we can see you. So if you have any trouble, we can come get you. And I think the freedom of it was intoxicating. I think she was like, I can do this for a month, no problem.
A little independence.
A little
Right.
independence.
A little
Right.
taste of it.
A little taste.
We did that too because we don't have the wave runners, but we have paddle boards. And now from my deck, I can see them going either the river turns right at our house, so I can see them on both directions.
Right.
And they would get a cell phone pack, you know, so they could bring their cell phones with them in a waterproof pack, and they would just be off on their. Give them some money to go down to the ice cream shop at the beach, and it was great, you know.
That's
And they
awesome.
loved it. They'd be out there for hours just goofing and on the tree swing and rope swing, and
It's the best.
it's the best.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that at the lake too. They can wander all different directions. We have kayaks. They can go in the kayaks without us. Georgia can do the wave runner without us. And this huge cove, they can swim this huge cove without us. That freedom is really, really great.
right.
It's kind of nice for the parents, too.
Oh, we loved
Like,
it. Yeah.
it's the first time the kids have been like, we're going to go down the beach. Like, okay, go ahead. Don't wreck the golf cart.
Right? Call if you need us.
You're right.
So high school.
High school.
We all have high schoolers.
Yeah.
We do.
How's it going?
Good. So far, so good.
What's the hesitation?
Well, for me, the schedule, I can't figure out the schedule yet.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to work it out because I still have my son at middle school, so they get out at the same times some days. So trying to figure out who to pick up first is challenging. And
Well, if you ever need help with Drake,
yeah,
I mean, with Tatum too, but,
he's
you know.
he's easy. I mean, he just sits on our friend's lawn until I get him. But I don't like to leave him sitting there for a half hour.
you
when
can just
it's
come
100.
to my house and you can pick him up from my house.
Yeah, so that part of it's challenging. I think she's doing okay. She's doing pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
I think they have it's interesting. They have everything is digital. There's basically no books. Everything's on an iPad. And I think she's not quite comfortable with the scheduling of the classes every other day. So she has 3 or 4 periods one day and then 3 or 4 periods the next day. And she's not used to that. So I think that there's been a couple hiccups.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure she'll figure it out. Yes, like all their work is submitted online. So she submitted her homework that she did in class, but I guess if you hit save and send are right next to each other, so her homework didn't get submitted.
Oh, okay.
You know, that type of stuff. All learning curve stuff.
Snafus.
Yeah.
Little snafus.
So
Socially, she's okay? Yeah.
I think so. You know, she's not a talker, so she's...
You mean not a talker to you?
Well, not a talker to me.
Yeah.
You know she's a big fat talker, but
Yeah, I
not
was going to
talker
say,
to
I
me.
think she is a jabberjaw, but maybe not to you.
But not to me. So I think socially's fine.
Yeah.
Cheerleading's going well, and I've asked her if she's sitting in the corner eating by herself at lunch, and she says no. So I think...
I doubt
I
it.
think that's pretty good.
Oh, good.
It's pretty good.
How's Gabby?
She's really good.
Yeah?
Surprising. Like, you know, we didn't know anything. And she is doing it. And she's doing it well. She just made the water polo team.
She did?
That's
Congrats!
Yeah. So,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is she excited?
She is. You know, it doesn't start till November, but she knows she's on there. And she practiced a lot in a neighbor's pool, you know, the 2 weeks up to the tryouts. And she was really dedicated until trying to make the team, and so she got on. So
That's great.
That'll be great. She really likes the girls. She just met some girls that the captain of the team and some older girls, and she sees them around campus, and they're really nice. And so that part of it, the social part of it, will be great. To
Yeah.
meet new kids and the workout. The downside is that practices are at 5 a.m.
What?
way up there. So
What?
that means it's 4 o'clock, 4:30.
Oh, my God. What time's she going to have to go to bed?
8 probably.
9, 10,
I think.
11, 12, 1,
God,
2,
my
3,
kids go to bed at
4. Oh, my
8:30
God.
as it is.
Right?
Mine go to bed at between 8:30 and 9 already, too. And they get
Oh,
up
my
at
God,
6.
Margaret.
That's
I know.
cray-cray.
Luckily, Mark is a morning person, so he gets up at 4 in the morning anyway.
Well,
So there won't be any traffic.
Yeah, there won't be traffic. Yeah.
Zip, zip.
And then she was signed up for Spanish, and she was in Spanish and hated it. She hated the teacher. She said that people kind of ridicule, you know, if you say something wrong, people will snicker, and she didn't like that at all. You know, you have to say something out loud.
Yeah.
And so her friend is in Arabic, and her friend was saying how great Arabic was.
What?
Yeah. So she switched to Arabic.
What?
Yes. So she's taking Arabic. Isn't that
Oh
crazy?
my
And she loves
gosh.
it. It's been one day. She goes, Mom, it's the best. The classroom's great. It's small. There's not very many kids in there. The teacher's super nice. She goes, I think I'm going to really like it. And
My
she was
God.
practicing last night.
Wow.
I
She
know.
could be a translator or something.
I don't
That's
even know where
crazy.
it'll
She
go.
worked for the CIA.
I know.
Yeah.
But I know. I told my sister-in-law, and she goes, you know, and she's, you know, in her 60s. I took 3 years of Spanish. She goes, I can tell time, and that's about it. So you know what I mean. So and Mark was kind of mad. He was like, why are you doing that? You should be in Spanish. And he got, and I'm like, you know,
But if
she
she's
can make
if-
her decisions at this age.
that and
about that stuff.
If she's interested in it and she likes it, she'll
Right.
work harder at it.
Yeah.
If she hates the Spanish class, she's not going to work
Right.
hard at it.
Right.
Plus, it's fairly random. I mean, list that on your college application.
Right?
I'm a Arabic speaking water polo player.
Right? That's great. Girl Scout.
Right.
Girl Scout.
That's pretty
is she
crazy.
still doing the synchro?
No, she's going to quit. I mean,
Oh.
it's over. It's going to start up soon, but she's not going to go back.
Right.
It's she liked it, but she's not that competitive in it. She's not. She did it because she liked the girls and it was fun. It was a sport she really liked, but it's a huge commitment, and she didn't want to do that 3 nights a week and then almost all day Saturday. So
Right. That's a lot.
yeah.
That's a lot.
So she got to a certain point. She was like, I'm kind of done. I'm like, okay.
That's
Maybe
good.
she'll go back next year. I don't know, but we're going to definitely she's going to take this year off.
Figure it out as
yeah.
she goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's well, I'm glad she's doing really well because she went to a high school where she knew nobody.
Right.
Right. And it's like 5,000 students in that school.
Yeah.
Right. It's huge high school, and it's not even close to our neighborhood. So
No.
it really was like going to college, sort
Yeah.
of. Like
Yeah.
going to a small
Yeah.
state school or something.
Right.
That was really a
Right.
big leap. I mean,
And she's walking through doors that I'm really like, she saw an opportunity. Her art teacher was talking to somebody else about painting a mural. And she's like, So after class, she went up to the teacher and was like, hey, what's this about painting a mural? I want to be involved. And I'm like, that's awesome that
Yeah.
she would just on her own just do that.
Yeah.
Or she saw her counselor. She's been trying to get in touch with her counselor about changing the language. And she saw the counselor sitting outside eating lunch. And she went up to her and talked to her. And I thought, she's doing all this on her own. So,
that's great.
yeah.
That's really great.
She seems to be doing well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I
How's
think
George?
she's okay. She's good. I think she misses her pack. You know, she had that little pack at all those choir girls. I think she misses the Disney butts, as they call themselves. But she's getting there. I think she's talking about a girl here and talking about a girl there. And apparently there's one girl who stands on the table at lunch and makes some kind of pontification about something every day. So I hear about this girl talking about the fact that she forgot her plastic fork, and Georgia just thinks that's just amazing, where she just stands on the table and makes an every day and makes an announcement about something ridiculous.
So funny.
So she's kind of warming up. I'm really grateful that she had, there's one other girl that she went to with. They weren't friends. They weren't not friends. They just didn't run in the same circle. But they both ended up going to the school together, and they both were nervous and a little trepidatious and not sure what was going to happen. And they kind of had each other. And the mom and I have had each other for this transition because she doesn't know anybody either. So, that's been helpful. She, did have power walking as her PE, which she did not like. And like you were saying, she took it upon herself to go ask the counselor about it. And I was like, I like that you
Yeah.
did that. And the counselor said George really wanted kickboxing. That's what she wanted badly as her sport.
Power walking, kickboxing.
Exactly. Is
right?
that
That's a pretty easy decision.
Totally. So she said the counselor told her not enough people signed up for kickboxing, so they had to drop it. And so she was like, so talk to some fellow students. If you can get enough people for the next semester or whatever, then we'll just open a kickboxing class. But we just didn't have any interest, so we couldn't justify having a class. And so that made her feel better about power walking, even though she found out at orientation that they actually walked to Starbucks and Jamba Juice for power walking.
I was going to say there was plenty of people to sign up for power walking, but not for kickboxing.
Lots of people, because they heard, I'm sure through the grapevine, that you get to go to Starbucks and Jamba Juice on your power walks.
Yes,
but that's not all you do. George is like, what they didn't say is if there's assembly, we're the ones that set up the chairs. And it's just like power walking also means crap job. Every crap job, we do it. We set them up, we break them down, we set up the tables, we get ready for parties, for luncheons. That's what power walking does. And if there's nothing going on, then we power walk. And she's not super happy about that still. Even though they go to Jamba Juice. She's
Who
like,
came up with that idea? Like, who
I
said,
don't know.
oh, I know, for PE, let's do power walking.
there was nothing really exciting there. That is one thing I would say. There was dance, and George's like, I'm not going to dance. Don't want to do that. And then the rest of it was very sport related. So we were unsure. Does that mean you're on the tennis team?
Yeah, what about
Did you
tennis?
sign up for tennis? She, went to tennis camp during the summer with the tennis coach, who she did not care for at all. And she broke her wrist at tennis camp. And she's been in private tennis lessons for over 2 years. And when she would go back to her private tennis coach, he got very angry because this coach was sending her back years. He was like, you already know how to do that. He didn't give you the opportunity to show him that you knew how to do that already. So who is this guy? I don't like this guy. So I think that was part of the problem too, is that her private coaches were like, why would he make you start from there? That's such a beginning place. Why wouldn't he see what you could do and then start where you were? But I did just get an email that she can still try out for the softball team. And shockingly, I said, what do you think about softball? And she went, maybe.
She would be a good softball player.
She was not amazing. She would have been amazing if she had applied herself. But Bert would work with her in the front yard going, she's just got a natural swing. If she would just practice, She'd be really good. So I asked her, and she said, oh, maybe, but I think it's too late this year. And I said, no, actually, I just got an email saying we have until September 17th to tell them if they're interested. He only has 12 girls right now, so there's definitely room. He's in the email, it says he wants actually a JV team as well, and there's not enough for 2 teams right now, so there's definitely room. So if you're interested, and I think you should,
Yeah.
I'm hoping she will.
They're getting a little too old just to sign them up. Guess what? I signed you up for this.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to give it a minute and talk to her about it again because, I keep saying to her, I am going to require that you do something extracurricularly. I don't really care what it is, if it's a club or a sport. But if she had her druthers, she'd rather come home and do nothing. Because she sometimes can be the path of least resistance kind of girl. She doesn't want to be a cheerleader. She doesn't want to do any. The only thing that she's had any sort of interest in is softball, and not even the clubs. She's very watch and then decide. So she doesn't want to join cheerleaders sight unseen. She wants to see what that means and then do it. So she doesn't want to sign up for softball because she doesn't know who's playing softball or what the coach is like. So she'll want to watch it and then do it. Where there is some value into just jumping into something and then going, okay, that was a mistake, or okay, that was the most amazing surprise ever. That was awesome. But she's not good at that.
The only problem with that approach is then it's too late.
Tatum
does the same thing.
You got to wait till next year.
She'll wait until we get to soccer, and she's sitting there and she's like, oh, maybe I should have played. It's yeah, except for it's too late now.
Yeah.
And you can't play.
Yeah, she's very much that way. She really needs all the information before she makes a decision. And that's just really not life sometimes. Sometimes it works that way. But sometimes you have to go, okay, let me make my best decision based on what I have,
Give it a shot, and if it doesn't work out, you can change it.
Figure it out, yeah.
Did she sign up for any clubs? I know the girls were all in creative writing. I asked Tatum last night, I said, what are you doing? I know there's a lot of clubs and stuff there. Is there creative writing?
Yeah.
And she said, no, but there's journalism.
There you go.
So I was like, oh, maybe you should check that out. And she gave me the, maybe.
But she's already cheering. And then Gabby is in water polo.
All right.
She
Our
is
clubs,
cheering.
they haven't done our clubs yet.
All right. How often do you guys have practice, though?
I don't even know yet. I think it's every morning.
It's every morning.
I think so.
Yeah. So T went from swimming 5 days a week.
Yeah.
To cheer, while at the beginning they make it sound like you have to sign your life away, which you kind of did over the summer. But now it's only 2 days a week. It's only Tuesday and Wednesday, and then whenever they have a game.
Right.
So she's used to exercising every day, 5 days a week. And now she's sitting on her butt. And
well, not just that, but at middle school. Sorry, Halston. At middle school, they PE is no joke.
Right.
I mean, they are running and push-ups and sit-ups as calisthenics, and that's
the
a
mile
PE.
all the time.
Yeah.
in her
Conditioning.
PE class, she said the boys have to actually do PE and the girls stay in the air conditioning.
Oh.
That sounds very.
It's not power walking.
It's not power walking. At least she's not setting up chairs.
Yeah.
No boys to do the heavy lifting at an all-girl school.
No.
Gabriella said it's all girls. That you could choose what kind of PE you wanted, racket sports or something else she's in, and she says it's all girls, and she likes it. They do have to run sometimes, but then they're in the gym sometimes. But she says she made a lot of friends in his all-girl PE class.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, does she have PE every day?
Yeah, she's PE every day.
So she has an every day is the same schedule.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really.
I miss that.
I miss that too, actually, because not only does Georgia's change, it rearranges.
It rotates, right?
I don't even know if that's it, because the numbers, I looked at her, I can go on her portal, like there's a parent portal for your kids portal, and I can see her schedule, and it's like period 1, 5, 3, and 8. Not 8. 1, 5, 3, and 7. in that order. Oh, how in the hell do you keep up with that every day? I wouldn't know where to go
Right.
or what to do. It changes every day. Every day is different. So she has to look on her portal or on the printed calendar to see what 3 or 4 classes she has in what order every day.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So I kind of miss the
Yeah.
old way too, if you just have period 1 through 6 and that's it. You're just,
Right.
That's the way it is, or 0 through 6 or whatever.
Right.
And it's the same every day.
How's your book? Has it started yet? With Isla?
Your book, Isla loves it.
She does.
She brought home a paper yesterday that I have to sign that gives her permission to use her phone as a camera around campus. She has to stay late after open house or back to school night to work at the yearbook. She's supposed to walk around and take pictures. She's supposed to go to meet the high school night and take pictures. She's really into it.
That's awesome.
Really, really into it, which is good because the rest of school may really, really suck. For Isla Kreischer. We were doing math yesterday and she was struggling in math and I went, uh-oh, we've never struggled in math before, ever, not ever.
Is it some?
No, she's in a different academy.
Oh, right.
So she has Mr. Zweers, who actually had some humanities kids that had trouble in math went into his class. So he's apparently a really good kind of at your pace math teacher. So I know one of George's friends was in his class because she really struggled in math. So that's good. If she's going to struggle, she clearly has a good teacher, but yeah.
And is she doing the play, did you say?
She is doing the play. Saturday, because Friday's her Girl Scout meeting.
Right.
So she's not willing to give up Girl Scouts to the play. So Pam is letting a few of them do Saturday.
Great.
So yeah, so she and Dakota and Lily Fromkin, who are all in the Girl Scout troop, are doing the Saturday play.
Awesome.
And she's looking forward to that. That was a negotiation because she did the play in the spring and she had a really big problem with the costume because it showed her shoulders. And she did not want to show her shoulders. And I was like, listen, if the director says you got to show your shoulders, you got to show your shoulders or you don't do the play. Your choice.
Why didn't she want her shoulders to show?
Because she's weird. She's always had this, not always. I think when she started like developing in 4th grade, kind of getting boobs. Just the teeniest little nubbies. And that's when she started wearing oversized sweatshirts. I think she just went, nope. She wears, every shirt has to be a at the neck crew neck and sleeves have to go to the elbow. There's no like cap sleeve. There's no slight V-neck. There's no scoop neck action in her world ever. I don't get it.
That's very interesting. I wonder where that came from.
Not from me and definitely not from her dad. Who
doesn't
never
wear
wears a shirt and is always in a Speedo. I don't know where that came from, but it is about not wanting to be seen. Like not wanting anybody to see her shape of her body. She has actually a really cute figure. She's teeny tiny waist and then she's got a little booty and she's just got this cute little figure, but she hasn't let us see her in a bathing suit since 3rd grade. She wears a rash guard that is extra large, men's extra large rash guard
With shorts?
No, she you can see her
bottoms.
butt. She has no problem with her butt and her legs for whatever reason. Is from the waist up. I wonder if it's some past life thing. I mean, there's part of me that thinks it's not of this life because there's no trauma has happened to my knowledge. It just started when she started developing. So, and we don't have any kind of like, look at your boobs. That doesn't happen at my house. We don't shame her or make her feel awkward. And because
Did someone else though, maybe?
I don't
Like
know.
at school or something?
I don't know because she doesn't even have big boobs.
Yeah.
I mean, George's boobs are enormous. And you would think it would have happened to her.
Right.
But she doesn't, she barely has any. So I don't know. She wears those big sweatshirts now so she can change clothes for PE without getting out of the sweatshirt.
Oh, wow.
So
she
pulls her
doesn't. She
arms.
doesn't want anybody to see her
No one sees her, no.
either.
Maybe she's really like Orthodox Jew. I don't know. Amish.
Right.
I have no idea. It's really it is a real quirk, At this point, it's like The meltdown she had about the play was crazy. She locked herself in her closet. She wasn't going to go. She wasn't going to go to the performance at all. She'd done every tech, every rehearsal.
Just because of the costume.
Because of the costume.
Pam would be so understanding, though, don't you think about that? She would.
I do, but at what point do you go, no, this is what it is? You signed up for the play. The world doesn't stop for you for everything. It doesn't. For some things it can, but it can't for everything. And this is one of those that I chose to be. There's nothing inappropriate about that outfit.
Right.
Nothing.
Well,
it was a tank top. It had like full, like 3 fingers tank top. She was showing like the top of her shoulder.
Well, and it was like, it's a play. It's like you're portraying someone else. This isn't you. This is your character.
She couldn't separate it. I mean, it was a massive meltdown. We were late, and it was awful. So, but she got over it, and she did it. So that's the point to me, is that if you're able to do it,
right, then
that's the lesson, is that things are going to be uncomfortable in life.
Right.
You know, you're not going to want to do certain things. But if the thing is safe, it's completely safe for her to show her shoulders on stage. There's nothing inappropriate about that. Then that's the things you should try to persevere over, right?
Right.
You know, being afraid to sign up for softball because you don't know what it's going to be. That's one of those things I feel like I should push Georgia to overcome, you know?
Right.
Right. At the beginning, I knew T wanted to be on the cheer squad, and I knew she wanted to try out, but when it came time to sign up, she was like, you know, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I was like, oh yeah, I know you want to do it. There's no sense in trying. If you don't sign up, you're not going to get on. If you sign up and you don't get on, same result.
Right.
Right? Except for you might meet some people.
Right.
So it's sometimes you have to push them a little bit.
I think so. Georgia's so afraid of looking the fool. I think that is her biggest thing. She doesn't want to not be the expert right away. And it's not realistic.
Right.
You know, you're not the expert at anything, ever,
Right.
I don't think.
I think that's this age, too. They're so afraid someone's going to say something.
You think, yeah.
Like Gabrielle in the Spanish was like, people were giggling when other people said it wrong. And, you know, those are just kids.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Our retrospect serves us, you know, in hindsight, you go, oh, they were just a bunch of jerks, you know, just being kids. But I guess when you're in it at this age, it's really hard to see.
It's hard, right.
I don't know.
How's Benny doing?
He's doing good, you know. He's, you know, it's just like school, you know. So he gets really bummed out if he comes home and he has a bunch of homework. But I think socially he likes it. You know, when he does well in school, it's not hard for him. But he just, you know, wants to have a good time all the time. So he doesn't want to sit down and do his homework and, you know.
Join the club.
I was going to say, that sounds like all of our kids.
It's pretty typical, right?
Right. But he doesn't
like
hate
me.
going to school or anything.
Either,
you
yeah.
know, he's fine. You know, lots of girls around. And that's
Circling
okay.
like sharks, those girls.
Is
Well,
he interested?
No, I mean, he's had the same crush or whatever. He won't call her his girlfriend for a couple years now. And he's always had a girl. I call him girlfriends since he was like in 2nd or 3rd grade. So
Well, he's so dang cute. He's just so cute.
He
Those
is
big
cute.
old blue eyes. He's so
a cute boy.
and he can talk to them, you know.
Yes.
So that's why I think they like him. But
So meaning he has a girlfriend. Like, do they text back and forth?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
yeah, they don't really go out alone ever. But they'll text back and forth. Or last night she FaceTimed him. They were FaceTiming in the kitchen, just talking about dumb stuff. He was eating a bowl of cereal while talking to her. I'm like, maybe you should like not eat, like, you know, like talking to your girlfriend on the phone.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So that's about it. But when they do stuff, it's never alone. It'll be like a group going to Marietzi or something.
Sorry about the gardener, guys.
That's okay.
Every day, he's here at 10 o'clock. I keep trying to get him. He does our neighbor's yard too. And I've a million times said, just blow our yard just right in when you get here. Because he gets here at like 8:30. I'm like, if you would blow our backyard, you'd be done by the time any podcast does. Bert's podcast don't start till 10. Mine don't ever start till 10. He will not do it. So
Does he understand what you're saying?
yeah, he does. He speaks very, very, very good English. Speaks and understands really good. But I don't know if he forgets.
He's just
or
ignoring you.
If he's just ignoring me, or if he's like, this is my routine.
This is his
Or if
process.
the other neighbor who's been his customer longer has requested the same thing and he just won't tell me that. I don't know what the deal is. But every time if we have a podcast, 10 o'clock.
He looks in here and sees you.
Yeah, he knows we're here.
Yeah.
And we tell him
Yeah.
we're recording something. Go around. No, he does it anyway.
Maybe we should bring him in.
And put him on the podcast.
Yeah, and maybe he wants to talk.
So tell me why. Why do you sabotage every Tuesday? 10 o'clock.
It's so funny.
11 o'clock every Tuesday. I'll just leave the dog in the yard. He's scared of my dog.
Oh, there you go.
So he's my number one deterrent.
What
Priscilla.
about Gab? Any boys?
No, she doesn't. I mean, she was at the football game. She goes, oh, there were some cute boys there. But, you know, I think if somebody was interested in her, maybe she'd be interested. But she's not searching or seeking, you know.
I don't know. I'm getting mixed information. Isla tells me Georgia's been boy crazy for years. But the information I'm getting from Georgia doesn't sound like it. So I don't know. And I don't know that Georgia is that good at hiding from me. She's pretty good, but she's not that, like, I can break her. For sure. I've broken her every time. If I want something, I can break her. And this time I'm like, I know that she's definitely like thinks boys are cute and likes boys, but it's not a specific boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whereas she's had a crush on this one boy for years. And then I kind of fish around about this boy. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What boy? And she's really so clueless that I'm like, Isla doesn't know what she's talking about. Isla, on the other hand, is shipping everybody. Do you know this term? I ship them.
No, what's that mean?
Oh my
I'm
God.
out.
That means that you think they're a good couple. You think they're a cute couple. So you ship them. So Cathy and Derek, I ship them because they're a cute couple.
So she's playing the matchmaker?
She's shipping people. It's a term that I was going all over.
You know what
Dang, middle school. Sorry, Halston.
I have heard that before.
I ship them.
Because they were talking about a certain couple in choir last
Yes,
year.
they
were
shipped.
Yes,
They ship them. Yeah.
How do you ship them? You text them?
I don't know. I think it's more like you have my stamp of approval.
Oh,
Like, I think you're a good couple. I ship you.
yeah.
I don't get that. I don't know where ship comes from. I have
Yeah.
no idea what.
Where
that
are you
term-
shipping them?
Exactly. But last night we were going to watch a movie, and I was like, let's watch Pretty in Pink, the John Hughes movie. Mm-hmm. I was like, I think you're old enough to watch Pretty in Pink. We'll watch it together. If anything inappropriate, we'll fast forward. There was nothing really inappropriate. A little bit of language, but Isla could not deal with herself with when Andrew McCarthy starts kind of going after Molly Ringwald. She could not handle it. She jumped from couch to recliner to couch. She buried her head and she kept popping up and going, I ship them. I totally ship them. And then she would bury her head and she couldn't watch them falling in love. And she was all grins. I totally ship them. I ship them. And I was like, you're the one.
You're
the one that's going to be boy crazy. You're the
Yes.
one that's going to be all about romance. Georgia liked the movie, thought it was cute, but Isla literally was losing her mind in the whole movie.
Oh, how funny.
Oh, that is fantastic.
And she's done that before in movies, but not as intensely as that movie. There's another movie that John Hughes wrote, he didn't direct, called Some Kind of Wonderful. Also a really cute love story, you know, wrong side of the tracks, boy, rich girl, or other way around. I don't remember. Anyway, she shipped them two the whole time.
She shipped them.
I shipped them the whole time. I shipped those two. I shipped them. In the beginning of Pretty in Pink, she kept going, you know, Mom, I just can't ship them. And I was like, give them time. You'll be able to. And then all of a sudden she goes, okay, I can ship them.
She has a lot of ships in the ocean.
That's so
she
funny.
does.
I've
That is
never
so
heard
funny.
that.
So
Have they been saying Gucci?
Yes.
I'm like,
No,
okay,
I
can you
don't know.
That's
stop
so
with the damn
Gucci.
Gucci?
Oh
It's
my gosh.
horrible.
that's so Gucci.
Yeah, that's so Gucci.
Oh my God.
The
What
other
are they,
night I got-
rappers?
the other night I got, it's Gooch. I was like, we can't even say the whole word now.
And I said, do you know what Gucci is? And they're like, no. And we happen to be like in Beverly Hills. I'm
Horrible.
like, there's a Gucci store. Do you want to see what like Gucci's all about? You know? And to me, I think Gucci isn't like an 80s kind of
Whatever.
thing. I don't even know, if it,
I think it's very popular in hip hop.
oh, right.
So in
That's
the
where
hip
it
hop
came from.
community
Yeah.
and the Kardashian community,
Yeah.
Gucci's still pretty big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would never buy anything Gucci because
Right,
I'm
right,
not 25 years old.
Yeah.
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny. No, I haven't. Gooch hasn't hit my house
Oh
yet.
yeah. Oh, you wait.
We're too busy shipping people.
Right.
We'll ship the Gooch.
Once your ship comes in, put the Gucci on it.
But Georgia did have this thing called.
Oh,
Right.
T has that too.
She does.
Super cute. Yes.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Georgia's an all-girls Catholic school. Your daughter's at a co-ed Catholic school, but Georgia's school partners or has like a brother school, all boy Catholic school. So the all boys school hosts a dinner for the all girls school, freshmen only. So the freshman boys are supposed to make dinner for the freshman girls, and then they go over to the all boys school and they serve them dinner. The boys had to wear a coat and tie. They like escort them to their table, and then they are paired up with freshman boys to have a conversation over dinner.
Cute.
And then they clean up, and then they play games. I thought they were going to play like cornhole and like that, but no, they played Never Have You Ever and games like that. It was a little alarming.
Spin the bottle.
No, they didn't play Spin the Bottle.
5 seconds in heaven.
Nope, they didn't play that either.
What kind of school is this?
I know, right? But she was a nervous wreck about going to this. And I was like, you shouldn't be worried about it. I can count like 5 or 6 boys, either from elementary or middle school, that you know. So even if you're not paired with one of those boys, socially, you've known them since 2nd grade. I mean, they're not, there's nothing threatening about talking to these kids you've known since 2nd grade. So just go and enjoy yourself, and I guarantee you the girls will end up on one side of the gym and the boys will end up on the other side of the gym anyway. So she called me after it was over. I was at Bert's show in Irvine, and she said it was so much better than I thought it would be. My guy was really nice. He escorted me to the table. He served me Taco Bell
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
outstanding.
and Milano cookies. And he talked to me a lot. He was very conversational. I said, was he cute? And she said, he had a lot of acne, but he was really nice, and it went really well. And then her friend was stuck with a boy that didn't talk. He was just really shy, and he just didn't talk to her. So she was really bored. And then they broke apart, and then they came back and played all these games. And she ended up talking to 4 of the kids that she went to elementary and middle school with. And she had a blast.
They're just as nervous, the boys.
That's what I kept saying.
Yeah.
They don't know what to expect either. They don't know
Right.
what to say either.
Right.
And they got to
Right.
wear a tie.
Right.
Right.
At least
Did George have to wear anything in particular?
No, she could wear whatever she wanted. She wore like a cute little fitted flannel shirt and some jeans and some red Converse tennis shoes.
It sounds so sweet and innocent.
I think it was. And the faculty chaperoned, so no parents were allowed. It was all faculty from both schools. And I think they just had a really good time. But yeah, that girl-boy thing.
It's odd. At T school, it's the opposite.
Oh.
So they haven't had it yet, but so a group of girls sign up and they put their name in and they pick what meal they're going to have, and it's usually themed, so there's not every group is doing barbecue,
Right.
or whatever. So and the girls prepare the meals and dress up in whatever regalia that matches their meal, and then the boys come in and they sit the boys at the table with the girls, and the girls basically host, and then they have like a sock hop, like a dance.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's really cute. A whole group of her girls are gonna they were either gonna do barbecue, which would be perfect for like, we'll host something in our house and you guys can make all the ribs to take.
Right.
Or they came up with a really cute idea. One of the girls said that they're gonna do kind of like an around the world thing, like a tourist thing, and they're going to make
Oh.
things from different countries and then like
cool.
provide them either with a passport or with some sort of insignia from each country that they go to.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was super cute.
Than the public
Public
school
school.
thing. There's one public school in town. It's an art public school, and our friend goes there, and he said he went to this first party outside of school, and everybody was had been smoking pot, except for him and another kid.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Already?
Yes.
Wait, okay, after this, you have to tell me who that is.
Yeah. The big public art school that everybody wanted
Downtown?
to try.
The one you have to take the train to?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Now I know.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. That's crazy.
I know. He told that to Gabrielle, and Gabriella told me. And then at her school, she's like, Mom, I think someone in my PE class is pregnant.
What?
And I thought, and she heard them talking, so this is so different,
Oh
you know?
my gosh.
And so she was eavesdropping. She doesn't know the girls or anything, but it sure did say, she repeated the conversation. I'm like, uh-oh. She's like, you better tell him, and blah, blah, and then she met.
That means they've had sex.
I know.
I mean, that is how that happens, right?
Oh my God.
And then she told me.
I know, right?
She had, some girl came and from her PE class and sat down and had lunch with them for a couple of days. And she said, her friend goes, oh, I need to go to Ralph's and get some Lara bars because I really like those. And the girl goes, oh, do you steal them? And the girl goes, no, I don't steal them. And she goes, oh, I just go in and steal them.
What?
And Gabrielle's like, what? and then she said, and then she dug a hole in the grass where they're sitting and buried her trash. I'm like,
What?
What?
What kind of school are you sending your child to?
What is that? She buried her trash? Isn't that a little more effort than just dropping it in the garbage can?
So the next day she goes, I just took everybody's trash and threw it away for everybody.
But wait. She buried her trash?
Yeah, like made a little hole where they're sitting. Instead of getting up to go to the garbage can, she just buried it. I'm like, okay. So she's like getting these red flags. The girl doesn't sit with her anymore. She went off to sit with some other group. I'm like, oh, it's so different than these little parties.
She's learning some life skills, though.
She
How to
is,
steal
yeah.
and bury trash.
Right.
Talk
And
about
then
street
she told
smarts.
me, I'm learning so much on the way home.
Yeah.
She said, Mom, I heard that if you have acne on the side of your face, on your cheeks, that means you're vaping. The thing is that you get acne from vaping on your cheeks, on the side of your face. And I'm like, wow, didn't know that either. I said, I don't even really know what vaping is. And she didn't really know either. Thank God.
She didn't know what vaping was?
Well, she goes, I think it's something, and you recharge it and you kind of smoke it, and
That's
it's
right.
supposed to be like pot. I mean, she gets
Well, you can put different inserts in it.
Yeah.
You can put non-nicotine based flavored like air in
Yeah.
it, which is how you kind of
Yeah.
ease yourself into smoking cigarettes. But you can put nicotine cartridges as a pen that's rechargeable that it's like a vehicle for nicotine or marijuana or...
Believe me, those kids are not putting flavored liquid.
No, they're
in
not.
their vape pens
They're putting
or their
marijuana.
Juuls.
Are they?
Oh, yeah. They're putting marijuana.
Oh,
in
yeah.
it.
Is that true? Do you get acne from it?
I have
I
never
don't know
heard
about
that.
that.
No.
No.
You get acne from meth, right?
Well, I don't know if you call it acne.
But I don't know if you put meth in a vape pen. It might melt the vape pen.
I'm not up on my meth.
I'm not either. I don't know, but I know you do get acne from meth.
You do.
I'm
Well, you
pretty
get
sure.
sores.
Yeah, you
I don't know
get
if it's-
sores.
there's
Yeah.
sores. Don't you think that? Why am I looking at Halston like Halston
Like he would know.
knows?
So Halston, tell me.
Give us the inside
Word on the street.
I think I think it causes you like you get paranoid and you start scratching and itching and picking at
You
yourself.
do
And-
that as well. So maybe if you have a little acne, just because you're a person, you may just dig at it. You do dig at yourself, scratch at yourself when you're on meth. Wow, that is a different experience.
Right. And then she said that some people she knows are Instagramming, and they're doing this, whatever, what is it called again? The
Instagram stories.
no.
Snapchat?
No. They're smoking these things.
Oh,
Vaping?
okay.
Yeah, vaping,
They're vaping?
and posting their pictures of themselves doing it. And I thought, aren't their parents looking at what they're? I'm like, wouldn't your mom look at this and see that you're doing this?
Well, if they're still stealing Lara bars and burying their
trash.
garbage, their parents may not be plugged in.
and that they're pregnant.
Right.
Holy
Sounds like they
cow.
might have some bigger issues.
They may
at
have.
hand.
Yeah.
The drug dogs were at school. They come like once a month.
The drug dogs were at school?
Tatum said they bring
You mean at Tatum School?
Tatum school. They bring the drug dogs in. They come once a month.
Interesting.
They have a zero tolerance policy on anything and any paraphernalia. So any vape pens or anything like that, you're done.
I haven't heard about anything like that up at Georgia school.
I was so excited to hear that. I'm like, oh yeah, scare the heck out of him. Go for it.
They are super strict at this public school that she's in, though. Really strict about dress code. Way more strict than the middle school they went to. About everything.
Well, I think almost everywhere is way more strict than the middle school our kids went to. Those uniforms were they really a uniform? Now they can wear jeans.
Yeah.
Tatum wore jeans the whole year.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
She did.
Even when they weren't supposed to. Yeah, she said that they were jeggings.
Jeggings.
But they were just jeans.
Right. No, they give out detentions left and right.
So what are you most afraid of in high school for your kid? What are you most afraid of?
Oh, gosh. At this point, nothing really bad. I mean, getting mixed up with the wrong crowd, maybe, but I don't know. I see her kind of moving away from that when she sees these people coming in her little universe, and then she's like, that doesn't look good.
Right.
You know, so she's not joining in. She's kind of moving away from it.
Right. She's making good choices.
Yeah. But that's so far so good. You know, it's still so early.
Yeah.
She's on the right track.
Right.
So I don't have a lot of fears, you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Do you have any, Kathy?
I don't know. I think I would think more socially, like, I mean, she seems to be doing okay for all I know, but it's a small school.
Yeah.
And you know how those small Catholic schools are. You make one mistake. I just, and socially that, you know, that, and God, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought that like when she started high school, all of a sudden she would be so much more responsible and keeping her shit together and the calendar and knowing what assignment was due. And yeah, I don't know. I think that was my fault for thinking that, because that really hasn't, I'm sure it'll get better, but it hasn't come to fruition yet.
You know what? I thought about that a lot, because that Disney butt group kept each other on track.
They did. They totally did.
One of the 5 of them would know what was going on in one particular class at a time.
You're absolutely
and it's not the same one. So one time Georgia may know what's going on, and the next time it would be Tatum, and the next time it would be Aaron, and the next time it would be, you know, so that is the one thing that worries me too. For Georgia is now she's reliant only on herself, and it's stressing her out. I think they got really reliant. That little pack of those little choir girls got really reliant on each other, which is really great. That was awesome. If they could have just moved that to high school, that was so many to high school. But now they're all in all different schools, and now they don't have that, or they don't have it yet.
They don't have it yet, and hopefully she'll work that out. Like, you know, yesterday morning at 7:15, it's like, have you seen that pink folded paper that has all my Spanish words on it?
Oh.
Because I have a test in a few minutes, and I wanted to review, and I think I have to turn that in.
Oh God.
It's 7:15.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
So, you know, just that type of stuff. So I don't, and you know, of course you never want to see them get their feelings hurt.
Right.
Or anything like that. But I think she's pretty resilient. I think she'll do fine.
Yeah, she will. They all will. They're 3 really
Yeah.
good girls.
I hope that she'll try some new things, because I think she gets pretty happy with, you know, I'll just come home and read or write or do something like that. So I'd like to have her try some new things.
Yeah.
But so far so good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
How about
good.
you?
Well, that's what I'm afraid of too. I think the being without her network, not even just a social network, but the schoolwork network. They really relied. They were FaceTiming all the time, doing homework together, or at least Georgia was. I don't know if Tatum was.
No,
but
she was FaceTiming her.
and she always knew who to call for what problem. Like if I'm
Exactly.
lost in history, I call this person. She always knows what's going on in history. And anytime she had trouble with math, she would call Tatum, and they would work out math. And so she doesn't have that network. And so now I think it stresses her out that it's totally And school's different now than it was, I think, when we were kids. I think it is harder now that there's a lot more to keep up with, especially the way those schedules work in the Catholic schools where it's, 4 classes one day, 3 classes the next. You have the right book. Now you have 2 days to do your homework instead of 1, and you have to manage your time differently.
Yeah, you would think that's good that you have 2 days, but she hasn't figured it out that when you get the assignment, you should do it. She gets the assignment and then waits and then oh shoot, I forgot to do that in the last minute. So I'm sure that'll come.
Don't you wish you could just download the lessons that you've learned into their brain,
Right.
and have them just do it?
Right.
Isla Kreischer will not listen to me for love nor money, and I keep going, I'm 48. Don't you think I know what I'm talking about just a little bit? Just
Right.
a little bit? I mean, write yourself a note and put it on your notebook. If you can't remember it, because I've stopped telling her how to do stuff, and I've started saying, how do you think this will get done? Tell me what's your plan on getting this done. And she never has a plan. She can't come up with a plan, can't figure out a plan. And I'll give her 4 options. Okay, what about here? What about here? What about here? Write a note. Send yourself a text. Write a Post-it note on the inside of your textbook. Any of these things would help you. And she just won't do it. She just won't do it. Her need for autonomy is so strong.
Right.
That I go, well, what am I supposed to do? I guess I just let her fail.
Right. That's what they say.
Right.
Just let her fail. So, but that's been the story of her whole school, is to just let her fail. And at a certain point you go, do I really just keep letting her fail?
Right.
I mean, at what point do I put her in an environment where she can succeed? Is that the problem? Or the environment she's in is more indicative of real life? So then that's what you're going to have to deal with when you are no longer in school. So would it be helping you to put you in an environment where you can succeed? I don't know. Such a hard thing
Right.
to figure out.
Is she happy?
She's really happy. Even though she has a 35 in her science class.
She loves it though. We saw her in the hallway. She was bouncing out of the door, big
Was she?
hugs. Oh my God.
So happy.
So happy.
Oh, so great.
She loves school.
She does.
She loves school. And I'm so grateful that
Yeah.
she's the one with dyslexia, because Georgia would be a mess.
Yeah.
Georgia has a different kind of conscientiousness about life than
Yeah.
Isla does. Isla goes, it's hard for me.
Right.
Whatever. I don't care. I just want to go to yearbook.
She just keeps rolling through it.
I need yearbook, nutrition, and lunch. The rest of it, I don't.
Right.
Oh, PE. Drake's is PE.
Oh,
If I can make it to
yeah.
PE and music, totally fine.
Oh, she could pass on PE. She's lazy.
She lazy.
Lazy.
Loves it.
She lazy. All right. Well, that was a pretty good chat.
Did you have any other questions for us?
I don't know. Do you have any other questions for us? Anybody have any questions?
Margaret, what'd you write down?
Nothing.
What?
I did want to try to talk to you guys, but we could do it next time.
What? Tell me.
But it's such a different topic.
Okay.
Just about some things I went through over the summer, and
Like what?
just like afterlife, like what happens after life, and
What do you mean? Because someone died?
yeah,
Okay.
someone just died, and,
That you just went to the funeral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his sister was telling us a story about how he came and visited her right after he died. And then I have another, my friend's daughter who's 14, and she's having people all the time come visit her.
Oh, yeah? Like she's
Yeah.
a medium?
Yeah. Like, I don't know
people
if it's a
she
medium.
knows
Is it people
or-
she
Yes.
knows?
No, it was both.
So
Oh,
she's
really?
like a
Interesting.
medium.
And she doesn't like it, because she's 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do
So-
you explain that?
Yeah. But it's happened all her life. So she's grown up with her mom's late husband coming to visit her since she was a little girl. But it wasn't her dad,
Right.
So what does she tell her mom that
Yeah.
so-and-so came to visit me last night?
Yeah, like she would say when she was a little girl, she'd say, "Who are you talking to?" She goes, "Well, it's my daddy, but it's not my daddy." Because it's her mom's husband who passed away before they
Does
were
she-
only married. For a
Does
short
she
time.
actually talk to them?
She was talking to him earlier. Now, the girl who's visiting her now, she doesn't know, and is a young girl in her 20s, and is talking to her, like, will say, "Where am I?" and will sit by her in her bed
Aw.
and put her hands on her computer, and she could see her hands, and she's seen her in her room, so she comes visits her a lot.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So then I'm just wondering, like, this has never happened to me, so I was going to ask you guys and talk to you about it, because I never believed any of this stuff ever existed.
Right.
But now I'm here. It's coming
You
into
didn't?
my, no, because no
I've
one's
had
ever
it
come to
happen.
me.
It's never happened to me, but it happened to Georgia.
Oh, really?
With me. My grandfather died when Isla was 5 months old. I was really close to my grandfather. My grandfather was 6'4", and he was like the size of that door. He was an enormous human being. He wore overalls every single day of his life. He wore overalls to my wedding. He wore overalls every day. And I was rocking her. She was having a hard time sleeping, so she had to have been 2.5. So after he passed, he was rocking her, and she said, "Who's the big guy in the door?" There's no one in the door. And I went, "Big guy? What does he look like?" She said, "He's got on like something weird. He's wearing something weird." And I said, "Is it overalls?" And she didn't know what that was. And she said, "I don't know." I said, "Does he have like a red shirt with a collar and like straps that come over with this?" And she said, "Yeah, that's what he's wearing. What's he doing in the door? Why is he in the door?" And I said, "I think he's just checking in. He's just checking in." And she's like, "Okay." And then something happened again another time in our baby monitor.
Oh, wow.
I was watching Isla in the baby monitor, and this like image went across the screen of the baby monitor of a person, and I think it was still my pop. We were extremely close, and I think when he passed, I think he stayed with me for a while.
He hung out.
He hung out for a while until he was ready to go.
Right.
He was suffering dementia when he finally died, and I think he was pissed. I think he knew he wasn't himself, and he was pissed about it. And I think he just needed a minute to move on. And I think I was always very safe for him. My grandmother was not a safe place for him. She was very, very hard on him. So his youngest daughter, my Aunt Carol, was really safe for him. And I was a really safe place. And I think he just came to just hang out for a minute. It wasn't long. Those two things happened very close together. But yeah, that what Georgia said, "Who's that big guy in the door?" I knew who it was. I couldn't see anybody, but I was like, "Oh, that's Pop.
Right.
That's my Pop."
Well, my mom passed away when I was little, when I was 7. And when I was younger, like probably right afterwards, I would have like super vivid dreams, or what I thought were dreams. Who knows if she was really there or not. And she'd just come and hang out. We wouldn't really chat, but she would just be there. And it happened for a while. And then she wasn't there anymore. And I think that I always thought that she was just kind of coming to make sure that everything was okay.
Yeah.
And like once she knew that we were going to be all right, then she didn't come anymore.
Right.
She moved on.
They move on
Yeah.
to some other.
But it was just kind of like looking over to make sure that everything was gonna be all right.
Right. Right. The same friend of mine, some random person ran into her brother and said, "Listen, I've got a message for you from your husband that passed away, and he needs to get you this message." So they set up this whole thing over the summer. And they met with a medium who talked to him, and the message was, "You need to change the tires on your car."
That was the message.
From her late husband. Because we were thinking, it's going to be something like...
Something profound.
We have buried in the backyard $2 million, right?
Under the oak tree.
Under the oak tree, right?
Because her boyfriend, it's kind of like her boyfriend, but not really, he had put some used tires on her car recently.
Oh,
And
interesting.
her deceased husband came to say, "No, those aren't good. You need to put new tires on your car."
You know, that is an interesting conversation, because there are people, I believe that, I went to see a psychic probably a year or so ago. I did, Dr. Drew's wife, Susan Pinsky, has a podcast about psychics, and she invited me to come on and have a psychic read me. And this woman knew everything about me. That I've never seen her before in my life. There's no way that she knew the things. There's no way she could have known the things that she knew, but she was listening. She's listening to the universe or spirits or somebody tell her stuff that there's no way she could know. That's happened to me more than once with a psychic. I mean, I've talked about this, I think, on the podcast before. When I was, I guess, 20, a psychic told me I would be living in California and that I would have a daughter with long brown hair, which Isla used to have, and that I wouldn't meet my husband until I was in my 30s, and that he had a crown on his head. And she said, I don't know what that means, but that usually means he's either famous or royalty or well-known in his field, or someone really prominent in his field, and he's going to travel a lot. She was like, I think you're going to marry like a professional athlete, someone who's always gone, comes and goes and comes and goes, but you'll be really happy. You'll be working in real estate. And I was like, you're out of your mind. I've never even thought about California. There's no way that's happening. And then I was dating Bird, and I went, oh my God, I am managing apartment buildings, which is real estate. I'm married to someone who travels constantly. At the time, he wasn't well known in his field, but that's what a comedian ends up doing, is being well known in their field. And like every single thing she said was absolutely right. And she read my future with a deck of poker cards.
Wow.
She just had poker cards. She just shuffled them around.
How old were you when she did it?
20.
And when
Wow.
did you meet Bert? How old were you?
When I was 31.
When you were 31.
And she said,
Wow.
you won't meet your husband until your early 30s.
Fantastic.
You will meet him in California. You'll be living in California. You'll be working in real estate. I'd been managing properties way before I knew Bert. It was everything, she said, with a freaking deck of poker cards.
So interesting.
I actually found her online and reached out to her and told her that she was 100% accurate. I never heard back from her, but I'm sure she's like, yeah, no kidding.
Right,
You're
right.
not the first one that's told me this.
Right.
But how do they do that?
Right.
It's more than intuition. It's
Right.
some kind of universal knowledge, right?
Right.
It's some kind of, I think they're like connected to some other realm.
Right.
Yeah, but this is not the psychic that has the shop set up on Woodman.
No.
Right.
It's not the
You know,
crystal
it's not
ball.
the crystal ball
That was
psychic.
like the young lady you're talking about, the 14-year-old who's been having people visit her since she was a child. I think some people are born with that gift or curse or whatever you want to call it.
Or do they only come to certain people? Like,
I don't know.
Why do they latch on to certain people and not other people? I have never seen anything or felt anything or anything like that. So that's why I was like, nah, that stuff's not true. But now it's coming in my realm so much, especially over this summer. I was like, wait a minute. And this girl, this 14-year-old girl is completely down to earth. She's not some flighty girl. And she talked directly to me and told me the stories about how she was also at a house at a lake up there, and they had the dead animal skins like on the floor, like bears or whatever. Yeah. And she felt like the bear was like struggling and dying. Like she felt it like suffocating and dying. Ugh. And she could not be around.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Aww.
And she's, some 14-year-old will be like, yeah, whatever. But she's not like that. So I'm like, now I'm starting to believe there is some afterlife.
Right. You never believed it before?
No. Because I was never shown proof.
Right.
So I was like, how do I know these people are telling the truth or not?
Maybe you should have a psychic come in.
I could.
Let's have a medium.
I
Maybe
could
they
have.
can read us.
That young lady that did me was crazy. She was like, I feel like there's something around your throat. Like you have no voice. As a child, you had no voice. And I was like, oh my God. I stopped talking for like weeks at a time. I wouldn't talk because I'd get in trouble every time I spoke. So I just stopped talking. I was like, yeah, that's accurate.
Wow.
Fairly accurate. And then she just kept bringing up stuff like that where, it wasn't specific. Like in 1978, you fell off your bike. It wasn't like that. It was stuff where, it's to the point where Bert was sitting next to me going, holy shit. How does she know that? How does she know that? There's no way she could know that.
Right.
So maybe I'll see if she'd like to do that. I don't know. She does it for Susan all the time, for Susan Pinsky. She's on her podcast all the time.
That would be super interesting.
It is really fascinating because, I've said this over and over again. I feel like the trauma that I had or the experiences I had as a child, they're gone. They're gone. But then I sat with this psychic who brought all of them up. Where I was like, well, clearly they're in my being because she's reading what I'm presenting today or whatever's connected to me spiritually. she's seeing. So all of those things I've worked through, so to speak, are still very much with me. Because there's no way she would sit down and go, I feel like you're choking. I feel like you have no voice. There's no voice. And I was like, well, clearly I have a voice now. I have no problem talking now. I don't feel gagged or muzzled now. That was from my childhood. Right. And I absolutely was muzzled as a child.
So you're right. It's very insightful that she could see the things that you thought you've worked past that were no longer even there.
Right. Right. But they very much were here. And at the time she was like, this is why you're doing this now. And I was like, shit. And she was like, you should be a writer. Are you a writer? You should be a writer. And I'm like, I was a writer before I started. And then she said in the psychic reading, you know what I think you need to do is have a podcast.
She did?
Did she really?
She did.
That's crazy.
That's
I'll
fantastic.
have to go back and listen to that episode again because I haven't listened to it since I recorded it. But she said, I think you should have a podcast. I think that you would be really good at that. Pretty fascinating.
Wow.
That is pretty fascinating.
So I don't know, you know, there was a witch. I was talking about this the other day to this massage. I'm going to this massage person that does like, it's called maxillofacial therapy or something. It's really intense. Massage is kind of like physical therapy. It's not relaxing. But I was telling her the other day, you know, in the South, there's a lot of stuff like this, even though it's of the devil. You know, you're not supposed to go to a psychic or a witch or anything like that. People do it all the time. My pop one time lost his wallet, and he went to see Mahaley Lancaster, who was the local witch. They called her a witch.
Oh, to find his wallet?
To find his wallet. She told him exactly where it was.
Oh, my God.
Exactly. She said it's in this field. It's about this far away from this landmark, and he walked out and picked it up.
Wow.
And then I had like 25 warts on my right thumb, and my mother had them burned off. She had them compound W. I used to think they were so gross. I would take a knife and slice the top of them off.
Oh my God.
And then Band-Aid, and of course they grow back because you have to take the roots out. Well, we went to see Ivy Cosper, and I paid her 1 penny for each wart on my hand, and she conjured them. Now, I don't know what that means, but she had a huge jar on a ledge in her kitchen, and she said that's where my warts were going to go, in there. I had to pay her 1 penny. We didn't talk about the warts. We talked about everything else, and my warts went away.
Wow.
They were gone.
My friend tried to get rid of these. She says she lives in this house in Northern California, and she has to wear earplugs at night and put the TV on because the ghosts are in her house and making so much noise. And she will just sleep with the TV on. And I'm like, see, that would just like freak me out. Like, she's just like, whatever, they're here. They're just making noise again. I'd be like, what? You know, so people handle it really differently.
They do.
And she seems to be okay with it, and her daughter is the one who gets visited all the time. And they tried to do some sort of thing somebody told them to do about lighting candles to get rid of this one young girl because her mother's waiting for her up there, and she can't get up there. She can't go to the next place, but it didn't work. So now they're.
Oh, wait. So this house, this woman, that's the one that has the daughter that has the people visit her?
Yeah,
Maybe it's the house.
Maybe it's a house.
but she has it at other houses
places too, because of the bearskin rug on the place you're talking about. It's not her house,
right? Not her house.
I see. So she may be.
Maybe it's the girl who's bringing the ghosts.
Yeah, some reason why they're attaching themselves to her daughter.
Well, you know, Scott, I don't know if you know who Scott is. Scott was a Reiki master shaman guy that I worked with for a long time. He used to say spirits will attach to people, and you have to detach them. You have to like cut cords and get them off of you because they can't move to the next place if they stay attached to you. So you have to detach them off you. He always said. I've never really known that I've had a spirit attached to me, but he's like, if you find like you're having bad luck or you're really clumsy or klutzy, you should just clear your energy because something may have attached itself to you that's not yours, but they want something you've got. Like they want that you're alive or that you have information or that you have a certain positive energy, and they want that energy, so you have to cut all your cords and ties to this physical reality.
Right.
So just cut your cords and ties to the physical reality.
Like, how do you detach?
Yeah.
What do you do? A vodka bath or something?
Right, a vodka bath.
What do you do?
A hose with
smudging
a
or
fireman's hose.
Right.
No,
Sage?
it would smudge. He would make me sit.
What's smudge?
To be
The
smudged
saging.
is sage, to be saged all over.
Saged. Okay.
He would say I would have to sit very calmly and feel my heart, so I could feel like get really connected to my heart, and then open up the top of my head. Obviously, this is all kind of visualization stuff, and then swipe my hand in front of my belly, because your cords come from your core. So if something attaches to you, it attaches through your core. So you have to get like straight with your heart and your head, get yourself really present in your body, and then cut, like physically swoosh your hand in front of your belly. And then he would make me say, I cut all cords and ties with this physical reality. And it would cut the cords with everybody, with you, with my daughters, with my sons. And then you allow people to reconnect who you want there, like your daughters and your husband. And then if you feel all funky again, you do the same thing again. And sometimes if you're in a bad space with your daughter, you're just not getting along, you're not communicating, he would say, you just need to cut your cords, and then let them reconnect.
Interesting.
So I do that from time to time. Right. I'm a lot more metaphysical than I let on.
Right.
Well, now you know where Isla gets this grand imagination and opening of her mind, and
Yeah.
Bert was talking about her watching the softball,
Yeah, watching the softball go over her head.
the imaginary softball.
Yes, that really happened.
Right.
That really happened.
remember
He
that.
really called me going, you're not going to believe what this moron did. And I really did say, you cannot shame her. You have
Right.
got
I
to keep
love
that
her.
part of her brain intact. That's
Right. To
amazing.
say that was amazing.
It's
What
amazing.
you did out there. Yeah.
It was amazing that you missed an imaginary ball.
Right.
So if you don't know the story, you should watch Bert's special.
Right.
It's in the special.
She was opening her mind.
She's got an open mind, I have to say.
Yeah.
Some of it is, when I was a child, I was absolutely terrified of the dark and of sleep. And she is too. And I think for me, my imagination was so crazy. I was absolutely positive there was a vampire in my room. And I was definitely dying that night for sure. 100%.
Wow.
And I think I had anxiety. I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Because I would like shake and sweat and shake and sweat and cry until I fall asleep. And I did that very regularly.
gosh.
So I try not to have her be in that state. But George's issues were about growing up. Her panic was about, I don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. She wasn't scared of things in her room. Isla's are entirely about her imagination. There's something definitely in my closet. There's definitely someone coming in my house.
Well, maybe there is. Maybe she's seen stuff,
Yeah, maybe.
or feeling it at least. My friend said that her animals won't go in that room where this young girl is visiting her daughter in the room.
Holy
And
cow.
especially in this one corner where she appears, that her dog and her cats do not go over
Is
there.
it scary for her?
No, because she's always been visited by her mom's deceased husband since she was little. I think other people too, but now she's accepted it, but she's getting tired of it. She's getting tired that this
exhausting.
girl is sitting next to her on her bed and putting her hands on her computer when she's watching her computer stuff, and she kind of is just ready for it to go away.
And I wonder how she gets help with that.
Yeah. I
Well, she
wonder if she
tried.
does
They tried
the
to-
cut the cord thing with
I wonder,
him.
yeah. She finds some kind of healer that can help her.
Right.
Because she's some type of portal or magnet
Right.
or something. Maybe she should reach out to the what is it, the New Jersey madam? What's her name?
Right.
She's real deal.
Yeah?
Yes, I will totally script
Wait,
this.
who is it?
She's in New Jersey.
She's
got
always on the talk shows.
some so
forget her name.
medium though, like I don't know.
Long Island Medium.
Yes, the Long
Yeah.
Island medium. Jersey, Long Island, same thing. Not really, but I will totally screw this up. It's probably been 20 years since I've heard this story. But a friend of mine had a friend who bought a house in Silver Lake, and they were having freaky stuff happen in their house. Like, guy's wallet would end up in the fridge. Like they'd wake up in the morning and all of their tools would be stacked on the stairway. Just in the middle of the night, they'd hear things in the middle of the night, crazy stuff. They had the house blessed. They had like mediums come, and this medium came and went, this is the biggest portal I've ever seen.
I'd be so
You're
far
gonna
out of there.
need the Long Island medium to come help you with this. And she did. They hired her to come out, and they had to open. She said behind this wall is a portal. someone put a wall up and they can't get to the portal. So you have to take this wall out of
wow.
your house. They took the wall out, stopped.
They tried to get through.
Wow.
Totally stopped. So whatever was past that wall was their portal into wherever they're going, the next place. So all they did was take a wall out and all of it stopped. It was bizarre stuff. Like there was, I think one time she was saying they have like a key basket like I have where you put your car keys in the basket, and the key basket was totally empty. No keys anywhere. Couldn't find the keys to any car, nothing. She said it was like they were playing tricks on them all the time. You know, to wake up in the middle of the night and have every tool like on every step of your stairs
Right.
is like tomfoolery,
Right,
you know,
right.
I'd
to
be
hide your keys.
terrified.
I'd be terrified too. I'd be like, I'm moving out of this house right now.
The house would
Amityville
be on the
horror.
market in a minute.
Right, Amityville horror. Blood's gonna start seeping up from the well.
Yeah.
It's buried under the house. But yeah, I guess she came out. They tried everything, and that woman was like, "It's this wall. You have to take this wall out." And they took the wall out, and it stopped.
I wonder if you have to disclose that on the real estate reports.
There are the boogeyman lives in your house.
There's some spirits here.
Beware the boogeyman. Right. I don't know if you know this, but you have a portal.
Right.
Don't build a wall here.
Right? Don't change anything structurally. This is a portal. And have fun on Halloween.
Right.
Although you can always spin it around and get a little bit extra money.
Yeah,
for having
right?
a special house.
Right, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, there are crazy things. We are really idiots to think that our reality is the only one.
Well, I guess I
think.
was an idiot, but I'm.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it
Yeah,
like
I know
that,
what you
Margaret.
mean, but I know, like
I didn't mean it like that.
it's. I always wanted to believe.
Yeah.
You know, but I just didn't have any proof. But now it's showing up. So
I don't know. Growing up in the South, I knew about Mahalie Lancaster my whole life.
Yeah.
And knowing that she did that for so many people for so many different reasons, you know, I guess that would leave the door open for believing in ghosts and other things too. I see what you mean. If you've never had any experience or
Right.
exposure to that, why would you believe
Right.
that? But
no one's come to visit me.
yeah, I watched my warts conjure myself. They went away in like 2 weeks. They just shrunk.
That's crazy.
It was bizarre. I mean, I would cut them off with a knife. One of them was the size of of an eraser on a pencil. It was huge. I had like 21 warts on my thumb, and I gave her 21 pennies. They had to be new pennies, shiny copper new penny, and we never even talked about it. But there was a big jar. She said, "Your wart's gonna end up in that jar," and it was all full of shiny copper pennies.
Oh, the jar was full of
Yeah,
pennies?
the jar was full of shiny copper pennies. I don't know how that worked, but it did.
Wow.
Maybe it was my own psychosomatic,
Right.
but I don't think so.
But I don't, not with something like warts.
I wanted
You
them to
know?
go away.
If you wanted to like stop biting your nails, that might be one thing, but
No, it was crazy.
that is crazy.
Yeah. I wonder if other people are being visited. They don't talk about it.
Yeah,
you know?
probably. Or they don't even know that's what's happening.
Right.
You know, probably. A lot of us are so self-involved. We're not open to seeing those things.
Right.
Sometimes, or so on our to-do list, or I don't know.
Yeah, or they don't want people to think they're crazy. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, so and so came by last night and we had a chat about who's going to win the World Series.
Right.
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 You know, that's kind of.
Yeah, the one, my friend who just passed away, I was talking to his sister, and he was a young guy, you know, she had a stroke, and Ralph came in her room and sat on her bed for a while with her, you know, and she said to him, "Now don't freak me out with this stuff." And then he hasn't been back, you know.
Oh,
But he did come by before he,
it's probably like my pop.
yeah.
Wanted to make sure
stopped by
everything was
for
okay.
a while.
Like
My
your
mom.
Yeah.
just checking
Wanted
in.
to make sure that everything was okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be all right.
Yeah. Crazy.
It is crazy.
So,
Some loose ends.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad we talked about that. That
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. I'd like to do more of that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a psychic.
Bring the
Yeah.
psychic
I have
in.
such a list. I want a psychic. I want my behavioral analyst to come back.
I want to see him.
I do
I need to
too.
figure out what I got to do something with my life now. I mean, my kids are getting older. I have to figure out what to
Right.
do.
Well, the podcast I did with Cathy Franken, we put I think a link on there to the career counseling test that she took. I don't know if you've
Fantastic.
listened to that one.
I did.
But it was pretty right on to who she was. Like she said basically she should be like a social worker. Sokanu. SOKANU.com. Will you write that down for me so I can put it on my website,
neighbor has
please?
one too. My neighbor John.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's been trying to get us to do it, and it's really expensive, but it's here in LA, and you go somewhere, and it takes a couple days, and he wants his wife to do it, who's going to be retiring soon.
I want to know that information.
Yeah, and he did it years and years and years ago, and they said, he should be some kind of like inventor, electronic, or something like that. But he didn't do that. He went and got he's like a psychologist, but that didn't last long. And now he went back to tinkering and being like an inventor guy,
right?
And he loves it, and that's what he should have been doing the whole time. But so he's trying to let people know about this so they don't get sidetracked,
because there's no reason to, right?
Like there's some things you're innately really good at,
right?
And that's what this test tells you, I guess.
That's amazing. Another friend of mine did one of those and got her results too. I did it a long time ago, and my results were police officer, farm manager, writer. Those were my top 3. So I kind of have a farm,
I was going to say you have that going on outside right now.
I know. I'm a police officer at home, I feel like. And I used to be a writer. I think I still am kind of a writer, even though I don't put pen to paper. I still help Bert a lot creatively with writing. Not writing his jokes. He writes all his jokes, but structuring things and figuring out rhythm of story.
Right.
And we just wrote 3 pilots, so I guess that does count.
I was listening to Cathy when she was talking about hers and the baking thing, because I was on that long car ride home the other day.
Yeah.
And it was really apparent that she should just get into baking.
Yeah. She loves to bake.
Yeah.
That woman would bake 24 hours a day. Right. She loves to bake. She is an interesting bird. She and I are reading, you're welcome to join too, reading this book called Girl, Wash Your Face.
Oh, I got it. I've started.
It's not like a revolutionary read for me. It's not like when I first read Brene Brown and I was like, oh my God, every page was an aha moment. But I've had a few in that book where I go, Kathy Fromkin needs to read this chapter, or Sam Fisher needs to read this chapter, or I need to listen to this sentence. That's happened a few times. It's like it's not anything new or revolutionary, but like a reminder or a validation of something you're feeling. It's been a cool book to read. I'm interested to see what Kathy comes up, because I keep highlighting stuff for Kathy.
What does she like to bake?
Everything.
Bread?
She's actually a really good cook in general. I don't know that she really knows that about herself. Everything I've ever eaten at her house has been really good. But she bakes pies, cookies, cakes, breads, muffins. She's made donuts. She's just a really good cook, but she really does enjoy baking.
Right.
And she bakes everything from scratch.
There's a local, did you ever go to that local lady in our neighborhood who would exchange, she'd do these amazing sourdough from ancient sourdough somewhere, yeast, and she has 2 really young kids who she's going to homeschool. And so I was going to buy, she would trade also like fruit from your tree for bread. I'd go see her every Saturday, and she makes this most amazing bread. And she's not going to do it anymore. She just can't with her 2 young kids.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking,
who's taking her starter?
She'll give it to anybody. She was gonna. She's offered to give classes to anybody who wants to do this, because she can't do it on her own. And Jeannie Turbo and I were talking about taking her gluten-free class.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe you should hook her up with Kathy.
That's what I was thinking, Kathy can continue on with this, because she has people coming over and buying this amazing, organic, real pure sourdough bread that she bakes in her home and just sells it to people. They come over on Saturday and they come pick it up. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, so she's, just kept thinking about, she should be baking.
She should be baking. There's a lot of things Kathy, I think, would be great at that she talks herself out of. She's a real good Girl Scout leader.
Don't let her talk herself out of that.
No. She can't talk herself out of that.
Right.
Nope. I need her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is such an interesting place to be in this. We're so young.
Right.
I feel like I'm like not even halfway done with life. And I've already had like 2 or 3 careers already. And now I feel like starting the podcast is starting a new one. This is just the beginning of the stuff that I want to do for myself. But I don't none of it's making any money.
Yeah.
So,
that's- I have to figure that out. It's like, what do I even want to do? Because I kind of like everything I've done, I've kind of fell into and done it by accident. I enjoyed it and it worked really well.
Right.
But now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I have some time now. I need to start working some more. But what do I want to do?
Right.
What can you wake
And
up
I-
in the morning and go, I can't wait to get to work?
Yeah. And I've got to figure that out.
Yeah, me too.
I've never, some people when they're young, they're like, oh, I'm going to be a doctor. I can't wait to be a doctor. I'm going to be a sportscaster. I've never had that. So I was like, I don't know what I want to major in, so I'll just major in business. I'll major in finance. I'm good with numbers. Okay.
I never did that either.
It was kind of a default.
Yeah, I never did that either. I never woke up and went, I'm going to be a writer. I fell into writing because I was acting, and I was frustrated because I wasn't getting any work, or wasn't getting enough work that I could work on my craft. So I was like, screw it, I'll just write something. And then I went, oh yeah, I did used to win a lot of awards as a writer. Like in middle school, I used to go to state competitions with my short stories, and I had this whole book of poetry. Actually, now that I think about it, I've been writing since like 6th grade.
Right.
Okay, well maybe I'll try that.
Right.
But I did, and I did it full force when I was doing it. But part of me, the self-doubt part goes, well, it sure was easy to quit. When I had kids, I was like, well, I'm quitting doing that. I don't have time.
Right.
So was that really my passion? Bert Kreischer could never quit doing stand-up. So makes you go, well, maybe that wasn't the fit for me.
Right.
Well, I think there's different levels too. Like there's the Bert Kreischer who knew what he wanted to do and knows what he wants to do and will probably never stop. I mean, even if he's not on stage doing it, he's still at the pool party telling jokes.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
So he'll continue doing that versus, somebody that, I want to be a doctor, and they do that and then they're okay moving on to something else.
Right.
I just wanted to be a mom. That's all I wanted. I had no career aspirations.
I wasn't even sure about that.
Yeah, I was way sure. I was like,
wasn't
that's
sure
all I
about
want to
that
do. I just want to be home with my kids and I want to raise a family.
That's amazing. I never wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
I had no inclination to be a mom at all. But I knew I was really good with kids because I would babysit people's kids, and I just understood that I just knew how to deal with them. Like I knew how to play with them. I knew how to get them to do what I wanted them to do. We're not going to throw food. We're going to do this. And I worked. So I was like, okay, I'm actually pretty good at that. But I'm not, I don't know I don't think I ever would have voluntarily gotten pregnant.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I think I would have always doubted myself. I would have always thought, you're definitely screwing this up. But when God said it's time for you to have babies, and I got pregnant on the pill, then I was able to go, all right, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is where I'm supposed to be, because that was divine.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty divine.
But if I had made my own choice, like if I had said, yes, let's get married, and at the time when I got pregnant, my career was in a really great place as a writer. So I don't know if I would have ever chosen a time to stop that, because that would have been a choice of like, now I'm choosing that your career, Bert, is more important than mine, instead of saying I'm choosing that my kids are more important than my career. Does that make sense?
Yep, definitely.
So I'm happy to choose that my kids are more important than my career, but I would have struggled choosing his career over mine to have children. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
And now my dream job is ending.
Oh, Margaret!
I know.
Don't say that.
Well,
it never ends, but I know what you mean. So then what are you going to do?
Great. I don't know. That's just it.
So then you need a test
I'm
too.
so sad.
Well, you have at least 6 more years.
Yeah. So, but now it's time to start a little bit thinking about it, because
Well, maybe Gabriella will get pregnant in high school.
right. I'll take care of that girl,
Like the girlfriend in PE class.
Right, then you can start all over again. Right? We'll call you Big Mama.
Right.
She can call you Big Mama.
Big mama.
Well, that is quite sad. Then
I know.
What are you going to do?
I don't know, because I don't want it to end.
Well, Kathy's test that I'll put on my website is free. Now you can upgrade to get more answers. You take the test and then you get a portion of it for free, and then another portion of it I think was like $35. It was not a lot.
Right.
So, which is not as expensive as what it sounds like your neighbors
Right.
test is. So you could start there.
Yeah.
You know, and splurge
Yeah.
and spend $35 and see what it says.
See what it says
It
and
may
go from
say
there.
you need to be a preschool teacher.
Right.
You know, you'd probably be a great preschool teacher. You'd probably be
I think
really
you could
fulfilled.
open like a kid and doggy daycare.
Right. I just don't want to have to be that's the problem. I don't want to have to be somewhere that somebody tells me I have to be. Like that's why I was a teacher, but I don't really want to go back to that because I don't want a 9 to 5.
Too structured. Mm-hmm. You're a rebel.
Yeah.
Have you read this book better than before?
No.
Oh.
Should get that.
Well, she breaks down kind of your personality and how to start a habit based on your personality type.
Right.
So if you're a rebel, you have a really hard time with a habit that someone who's not a rebel would have an easy time with. So people get really frustrated with themselves going, why can't I do this? And then if you understand your personality type, you go, oh, I can do this. I just have to do it differently than what I see other people doing.
Right.
But the rebel has a lot of very specific things like I don't want 9 to 5. I don't want 9 to 5 either. I can't work a set schedule either. So you don't either, do you?
No, I did that forever, and it's no fun, and it's super stressful.
I did it too forever, and I hated it. I felt like I was in a cage.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
Always missing something. You're always late.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Rushing.
I didn't want someone to say, oh, no, you can't go to your kid's play or you can't be there at the mom lunch or whatever because you got to work.
Right.
I was like, no, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe we should just all take that test and come back and talk about it.
Yeah. And take it.
Okay. Well, this has been a long podcast. I'm
I
going to let
know.
you guys
Yes.
go on with your day, but I enjoyed it.
Me too.
you? Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming again. I know it's time out of your day, and our days are already packed as it is. So
But this
I
is
really
fun time.
appreciate it. I hope so.
Yeah.
Because it is for me. It's like
Yeah.
girlfriend time.
Because I'd be folding
so-
laundry right now if I weren't here.
I know, right? I'd be rebuilding my website. I
Right.
started it this morning. I was like, wow, this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. Oops.
I'd be setting up our new soccer website. So
Oh,
you guys got that
boy.
to look forward to.
Well, thanks for sharing all
you.
your insights and thoughts. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So let's take the test and we'll come
Right.
back and
To
talk
be
about
continued.
it. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
to be continued. Bye.
Bye.